Hey guys, after going to the Lucid Gravity event yesterday, I decided I wanted to go through and try speccing out Gravity and just kind of talk through some of the things I noticed and learned from speaking with everybody yesterday. So if you were to go to the site, you can go to this section and you can get all the details on the Gravity. But what you can do is design yours to get to the spec, whatever you call it. And I'll just run through sort of how I'm seeing it. Um, Base price here, color. This is, up to you depending on what you like and if you want to pay more. I actually like the black, so I would just stay with the black. And the same goes for the stealth appearance on the upper portion and some of these accents. I also like the black, so luckily I don't have to pay extra for that. The wheels, this is a little bit up to preference as well, and the way you want to drive. For me, also, I like this base wheel, not having to pay extra, maximizing the amount of range. I hear these are really good tires. But if you're interested in some of these other looks or the dynamics that these bring, just notice that your range drops using these bigger wheels. So I would stick with this one personally. And then interior, this is one of the things that I didn't know when I was looking at this site prior to being at the Gravity event. But if you just stick with this black interior, you don't have to pay extra. But if you go to this one or any of these, it's obviously more money. But what wasn't clear right off the bat is that these aren't just the seats and the trims and the kind of look that you're getting on the door panels. If you click this little info button, what you'll notice with all of these is that it says includes luxury seating package. And what that means versus the base that does not say that is that you're getting the tray table behind the two front seats for the second row passengers. And with these, you're also getting massaging seats. If you stay here, you're missing out on the massaging seat and the tray tables in the back. So that's something to consider. So possibly I might want to spec up. These first two, the Mojave Pure Luxe and the Yosemite Pure Luxe, those are like a vegan leather versus these two, which are actual leather. Seating. So you have your option for 5 or 7. This is kind of personal preference. I, in a way, only need 5. There's an argument for having the 7-seater for resale possibly. But if we just stick with that, I'm trying to see how low we could keep the price and be feeling like we got a good deal at the same time. I talked a lot about Dream Drive with the people yesterday in person, and this is kind of one of the things that I feel is a big letdown on how capable it is currently versus how much it costs. Because Dream Drive 2 and Dream Drive Premium at this point in time, March 30th, 2025, it doesn't do a lot, and neither does Pro. If you're familiar with Tesla Autopilot, which is the free autopilot that comes with all Teslas, no charge, lane centers you, keeps you in a dynamic cruise control, and you can basically just stay in lane and chill out. You would have to pay this full $6,750 to get that ability right now in the Lucid. That kind of sucks. I mean, eventually they're saying this is going to be fully autonomous. So it has future promise. You wouldn't have to pay up later, but it's hard to say if that's worth it. And if you don't do that, you end up having less hardware on the car. Like, you don't get your LiDAR. So you wouldn't be able to get this later on, which kind of puts you in a weird position. I feel like you definitely would want to get at least the mid tier here, because having like the surrounding bird's eye view, the blind spot camera, all that sounds worth it for the 1500. But it really comes down to personal preference here with the Dream Drive Pro 2. I kind of lean on wanting it because if you're driving, also in a Tesla, if you're using your screens, one of the easiest way to navigate with your screens is to click on autopilot, and then you could kind of touch and look through menus that you need to without having to worry about crashing the car. So I'll just keep this on Pro for now, even though I feel like it's kind of a ripoff. Sound system, I feel like I would just not pay extra for. I'm assuming that the base one is really good. If you don't have something like Tidal or Apple Music that's going to put really good sound quality out and have all the channel mixes, the Surreal Sound Pro, you wouldn't even be using a lot of it from what I understand. You wouldn't be living up to its capability. So I kind of think staying with the base level is what I would do. And then dynamic handling. This is interesting because one of the high ups at Lucid said, if you're going to do any of these upgrades, do this one. So I'm kind of on board with that too. If you're going to be getting this car, and I would want the extra handling that this would give. So having the extra chambers for the air suspension gives you a much better ride. It gives you new dynamics that you wouldn't be able to get with this. But if you're not into driving it hard and you just want to cruise around town, maybe this is not important to you. Technology package. This one is another tough sell because it's a pretty big price tag, and you're really getting, it seems like you're paying for the HUD right here, and I wouldn't really pay for that. Personally, I'm not interested in that. I can drive without that. They made all these really nice screens in the car, and this is almost saying don't look at them. It's too hard to look at them, which I don't really think is the case. The only problem with this is that I would really want the outlets in the car, and they bundle these with that. So having to pay $3,200 just to get some outlets that you'd have in a household, that's tough. So I think that I would be skipping that, even though I kind of want it for the outlets. Comfort and convenience, this one is another tough one. Like, I wouldn't get it personally. I don't need heated seats in the back. I want a heated steering wheel, but it doesn't add up enough. They don't give you enough of things that I'm interested in to make me pay for that. All these other things, heated steering wheel, heated wipers, sure, that's great in the winter, but you're still they're gonna work without it. So it's not a big deal. Maybe auto cinching doors are important to you, but I could shut a door normally too. The acoustic laminated glass, it's a bonus, but they still have double laminated glass in the car anyways if you don't do this. So it's not like it's going to be loud. And then tow package, that's just personal choice. So basically the way that I'm speccing this out is Dream Drive and dynamic handling are the only upgrades I'm doing, and that puts it at $107,450. If they change some of the way that some of these bundles is done, maybe you'd be able to get it for less, but I worry about doing this another way and not paying up for Dream Drive Pro, unfortunately. But that's kind of my thoughts as I look through this. I like the all black and the stealth look. I'm glad that that's kind of the default. But if you guys have any thoughts, let me know. You can, once you do this, you can review your order. And right now, there's no details on leases or APRs for purchasing. It's all just kind of vague right now. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm not getting one yet, but I really want to. Thanks for watching.